In the past few months, I've been working on a new project called Cryptowhailes. Now in this video, I'll be showing you what I've created and also an overview of how it works. Keep in mind that currently I'm using localhost, but the domain is on cryptowhailes.com, and the reason why I'm using a localhost is because this hasn't been released yet, and I will announce on how you can access beta. So if you want to check it out, I will leave all the links in the description of this video, but we can go over to our dashboard. So once you've entered your dashboard, you've created your account, signed in, then you will see this overview on the exchanges. Now currently we support these 4 exchanges right here, and you can just go ahead and add an API key, and again make sure that you never enable withdrawals, because that's not needed when you are trading with these bots. So if you don't enable it, there's more security on your keys. So once you have that connected, we can click here, for example, on manage API keys, and this would take you straight to this page. Now this is where you will actually be adding those keys, and I will leave documentation probably after I've done the release to show you step by step on how each exchange works and also where you can find the keys and add them. But this video is just to show you the actual trading functionality. So this would show you after you've connected the keys, then you can actually access your dashboard. So once you have your dashboard connected, this will give you an overview of trade history. So this is only working on futures, and we can see that this is the key added. So what this is currently doing, Blofin does support a demo account, so I did integrate demo. As you can see, this is a demo account, and there's almost 50k in there, which we can see, and then there's no USDC, and it shows us the margin we can use. Now since I've been testing, I've been opening up a lot of orders, and this gives us a breakdown on the daily P&L if we are either in a negative or a positive ROI. And then we can see the fees that we are paying. So every time you open and close a trade, you will see this being affected right there. We can see the top symbols that we are basically trading. So I've only been trading on these pairs to test. And then we have a 30-day calendar. Now the 30-day calendar can either be viewed based on P&L, or you can look at the amount of volume that you have traded. So yeah, that's basically an overview of the dashboard. Now, if you have more than one key added, you can actually get like an overview of all those keys together, or you can click on each of them and view them individually. So the next step would be our actual triggers. Now, for those of you who are basically familiar with Crodl trading, or the other board that I do have and have been running for around a year now, this works in a very similar way, except you don't need to create boards, you can just create triggers. Now this helps a lot, because if you're running, let's say you have 20 symbols you're trading with on, let's say, Blofin, then you don't have to go and create bots for each of those. You can just use one trigger and just change the symbol. Now I'll show you on how that works. So this is if you already have created triggers, but I'm going to go ahead and create a new trigger. We can call this, for example, YouTube, and then we can select a symbol. Now this is basically showing us all of the symbols that we can trade, as well with the leverage that we are able to use, and if it's linear or inverse. We're going to just keep it on BTC USDT. I only have one key connected, and then we're going to use a market order for this. We're going to use all of this the same. I do think that I'm currently using hedge mode. This needs to match on the exchange, but again, I will be adding documentation for this, so you don't need to get confused. And once we have basically released this, I will definitely go on in-depth videos for each exchange. Amount we can use, for example, 20% of our account. If we want to take profit, then it's basically simple. We can use a percentage, for example, and we can set that to 1. We can basically do the same thing for stop loss. That should be it. If we want more features, which basically like opposite side closing, cancel unfold, or pyramiding, then we can obviously enable that. And then here is if you want to go long or short. Once I create this trigger, we can see that our new trigger has been created, and we can now get the option to run it, to edit it, or to view basically the payload. So this helps for when we're running the same like conditions on multiple symbols, because I can technically just copy this and change the symbol out, and if I go and add that on TradingView, then it would just automatically change as it's being sent, which makes it very easy to modify your like templates or payloads to trade across different symbols. Or if you really know how to change like the exchanges and so on, then yeah, it does get very easy. So if you don't know how to do all of this, you can just basically do it one by one by creating these triggers, and this is basically building those templates out. Now, if you want to test one of these triggers, there's an option that's called Run Now. This is going to manually execute that payload, or basically mimicking a like a TradingView webhook, like an alert. So we can see right here the trade has been executed, and then we get an overview of the live position. So this is quite nice because you don't have to go to the exchange to monitor which open positions you are in right now. You can just directly do it from the bot, and you can also do like a flash close if you do it right here, and you would execute 100% close. So if we go to executed triggers, this is going to give us an overview of all of the previous trades that we've executed, and also it will show us more info on these trades. I'm currently working on trying to get the execution time to be faster, and it is a bit faster as well on the server. Just keep in mind this is locally, but this gives you an overview of what happened and what kind of trigger got executed, and yeah, it gives you like the execution timings. So I'm currently still testing all of this, but this just shows you all your order history. So I have been testing a lot, but if we go to order history, that's just going to show you trades that has been completed. That's not the triggers that fired. So if you have like executed triggers and they failed, they will show in this tab, and you can also see the reason why they failed. So here we can see that the position mode wasn't applied. The order history actually shows you the trades that were placed, and you can see like the fee you pay, the P&L you've either made or lost. So you can see all of that detail right here. You can even get a bigger overview, and this is going to be different for each of the exchanges. So I'm basically looking at what info the exchange give us, and then I add it on the bot to make it simple and easy for you guys. So that's basically a quick overview on how this works. And then also you have closing triggers, which is basically to close a trade. So if we, for example, have this BTC trade open right there, and we go ahead and we run this should, that's going to close the long. And you can see it got executed and it closed. And also in our notifications tab, we see we have these two unread notifications. So we can just mark all of that, and then it's basically gone. Now the next thing I've been working on for quite a bit of time, and it took a lot of effort to get like the first version out there, but I do think that this is a pretty cool feature to have. Now once I've created my workflow and I enter this, you will see how this works. So this is kind of like a drag and drop builder, but you can use it in such a way where you can create like your own bots, and it's connected also to the exchange's live data. So for example, here on the left you have nodes. Now these nodes are basically actions that you can take. Now for creating one flow, you need three nodes. So you need a trigger node, a condition node, and then an action node. So this is basically the flow that's required. So I can have one trigger, and I can have multiple conditions, and then one action. Now actions can either be sending a webhook to a different third-party platform, or to anywhere where you actually want it, or you can actually execute functions on exchanges, such as opening an order or closing one. This basically gives you the option to build your own bot. So I'm going to go ahead and we can create a new one. So I'm going to delete these nodes, and we can use manual trigger just for this example. So if we go ahead and we say we fetch the latest price, and we basically connect this, then we can click on this node, and here on the right we can select options. So this is going to ask us to select an exchange, and since I already have my API keys connected on Blofin, I can basically just click the exchange and then select a symbol. So if we use BTC USDT, right here we can see we have live access to the price data. Now this means that we can create our own bot, because we can monitor this price and say if let's say last price is lower than 105,000, go ahead and buy an order, or close one. Or we can actually connect it to our live P&L to say that if our P&L reaches an X amount, then we can close that. So it's basically flexible on what we can do. And the more you guys give me feedback, the more I can add on this and improve it. So this is basically a first version for beta. And the next thing we can do is, let's just say send a webhook, and we can go ahead and connect this to send webhook. Now to test it, I'll just use a website called webhook.site, which is just basically something that listens to any like webhook request, which is perfect for us because That's all we need to test right now. So if I go ahead and I paste that URL in there, I can now use a pre-filled like outcome of the previous node. So right here we can see price, result, or snapshot. So if I want just to send the price, I can go ahead here on top and I can save this. As you can see, it's saved. If I go ahead and run this, we can get an overview here at the bottom what's happening, and then we can see it's live and basically now completed. So if we go back to that website, let me just refresh. We can see right here we did receive that request and the price basically of Bitcoin. So at the time where we were manually running it, this was the price when it got executed. Now again, we don't need to use manual triggers, we can also use price triggers. Yeah, the more requests we get and the more people use this, then obviously we can add on this to make it more flexible. The idea is basically for you guys to be able to build your own bots on the exchanges that you'd like. For example, later on if you want to build like a DCA bot where you can say, okay, if price drops 2%, go ahead and buy. This is going to be very simple and you don't even have to go to TradingView and build all those scripts and so on. So the entire idea of this is create drag and drop trading bots. The next thing that I did add is basically exchange events. So since we are partnered with a lot of these exchanges, sometimes they do give exclusive like campaigns and so on for our users. And I'll be adding this right here so you guys can also benefit on those campaigns. And then a lot of people requested to have a referral system. So I went ahead and I integrated this. If you have like your wallet connected and you refer a friend and they either subscribe for yearly or for lifetime, then you can get a up to 30% commission rebate on that referral. So settings as well is pretty simple. It's just where you have like your general security, for example, two-factor authentication, or you have passkeys. And then if you want to like upgrade your membership, you can do it right here. If you're not a lifetime member yet, then you will see it right here as well, which membership you're on, when your like trial or whatever will expire and so on. So if you create an account, you will get a 7-day free trial automatically. And then notifications is just simple. So you can just connect your Discord to this and you'll get like DMs of the notifications you see right here. When trades are placed and executed, it will show you the amount you traded with and so on. And then another thing that on Twitter, I'm basically trying to be more active, and actually as I'm building every day and doing, anything, I'm basically trying to post it on there. So if you guys want to support me, I will leave my link to my X profile below, and you can give me a follow if you want to. And then also all the exchange referral codes is also in the description. And if you guys trade on that, it basically helps me to be able to build all this and improve it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, if you guys have any features or things you want to request me to add or maybe take a look at, definitely let me know either in the comment section, or you can join the Discord and ask me there. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.